Hi dear students, welcome you all on the behalf of RahAnaBio Biology Tutorials. So as you know that I am RahAnaBio and this is somewhat on my channel whose name is actually the RahAnaBio Biology Tutorials. So now let's begin with the very interesting topics which are oftenly being asked in terms of Neet, often the Aiims, often the All India Pre-Medical Examination. So these are literally belonging from which of the chapters of your book. So these are particularly belonging from the microbes in human welfare. So today here we are going to study about these things, means what are actually particularly the microbes. So microbes do what? So here particularly microbes play an important role to promote the various type of the chemical reaction. Often your microbes play an important role as well as helping the here main term of many kind of the living organisms such as what? Such as particularly the human being. Often these microbes are playing important role in order for what? In order for producing the various kind of the diseases. So here today particularly we are going to study about how these microbes are literally useful in the household products such as what? Such as these playing important role in order for the formation of cheese. So when we are talking about these things in terms of the here in terms of the cheese, so we are having the particular name of the bacterium. So these are what? So these are known as the Propionobacterium sermini, of course. So your Propionobacterium sermini is the particular type of the bacterium, or either you could say that is popular kind of the bacterium agent playing an important role in order for the formation of cheese. But the question arises how? So these are playing important role to produce what? So these many of the Propionobacterium sermini playing important role to produce the larger amount of the carbon dioxide. After that what will be happening? So these will be resulting in the formation of the larger holes. That when we are talking about the another facts in it, so we are having what? So we are often having the Roquefort cheese. And what are actually these in terms of the Roquefort cheese? So for the particular ripening process of the in the formation of the Roquefort cheese, so fungus playing an important role for the ripening of what? So when we are talking about these things in terms of the Roquefort cheese, so in this case the ripening process of these particular cheese are literally being employed by what? So these are particularly being employed by the help of the fungus. After that these fungus do play an important role to provide what? So these here meant of the fungus playing important role in order for the particularly giving the flavor with reference to your here in term of these cheese. After that we are having here meant of the penicillium in term of what? In term when we are talking about the next features in term of these in term of the formation of the cheese, so we are having the blue penicillium what? Blue penicillium particularly mold. So these in term of the blue penicillium mold are playing important role in order to produce what? So these blue penicillium molds are playing important role to produce the special kind of the particular cheese such as what? Such as the blue Roquefort, often what? Often the soft cambric, of course. So these in terms of the blue Roquefort as well as the soft cambric are literally being formed by the help of nothing else but the blue penicillium molds. As well as when we are talking about these processes in terms of the formation of the cheese, or either in this case of the curdling of milk, the starter process is literally being required. As well as in this case of the formation of soft cheese and the here meant of the harder cheese, we require what? So in this case particularly the milk is literally being separated from your curd. What I have told just? So I have told in this case of the process of the cheese formation, the particular milk is being removed, or either you could say that particularly milk is being separated from literally your here meant of the curd, as well as the another kind of the liquids are also being removed, as well as particularly water is being separated from what? So in this case the water do separated from the particular soft here meant of the harder curd in order for the formation of what? In order for the formation of the softer cheese as well as the harder cheese. So we do have the different kinds of the cheese. So these are the softer cheese as well as the harder cheese. We do have the another kinds of the particular varieties such as what? Such as the Roquefort cheese, often what? Often the Camembert cheese. As well as for these particularly in terms of the curdling process, what are actually essential. So for curdling process, the starter is very required. As well as when we are talking about these things in terms of the curdling of milk. So you remember, so we are having the lactobacillus bacteria playing important role in order for the conversion of the milk into particularly curd. So these here meant of the lactobacillus bacteria are often called as what? So these are popularly called as the lab, means the lactobacillus bacteria. As well as we are often knowing these important roles, such as these lactobacillus bacteria are playing important role in order for what? In order for checking the growth of the microbes. So these literally lab means the lactic acid bacteria are playing important role in order in term of the stomach. Of course, so how? So these play important role to check the growth of the microbes in terms of your abdominal or either the stomach region. Often these microbes are playing important role in order for what? Such as the lactic acid bacteria are playing important role for the breaking down of the food. Often these in terms of the lactic acid bacteria play important role for the absorption of nutrients, as well as these are often playing important role in order to prevent as well as treat the symptoms of diarrhea. So what are actually the diarrhea? So these are kind of the disease, we will be understanding about that later. So the different types of the particular taste as well as the flavor of the particular cheese are literally being dependent upon what factors. So the particular flavor as well as the taste of the cheese is particularly dependent on the particular types of the bacteria involved in the making of the particular cheese. So after that, when we are talking about the here in term of the next features with reference to the microbes. So these microbes do play an important role in order for the fermentation of soybean as well as fermentation of fish as well as the bamboo shoot. So these play important role in order to ferment these items. In order for what? In order for making the different types of the food items or rather the food ingredients. Just to have understood that the microbes play an important role in order for the formation of what? In order for the formation of literally the cheese. Often we have dealt about the certain features such as these microbes are playing important role in order for the formation of the curd, such as we are having the lactobacillus bacterium. Often we have understood the certain features such as these microbes do play an important role to cause what? To cause the diseases such as what? Such as we are having the Salmonella typhi bacterium. Understood? So these Salmonella typhi bacterium are playing important role to produce the typhoid-like symptoms. And you remember about the particular case. So these typhoid Salmonella bacterium could live around the temperature of 35 to 45 degrees Celsius etc. Often we know the particular the disadvantage as well as the particular events which are being produced by this kind of the diseases such as the typhoid. Often some of the microbes do play an important role in order in terms of the spoilage of the food. Remember, so for to prevent the spoilage of the food, we use the certain kinds of the agents such as the salt, often the sugar, or either these both mixture in terms of the salt as well as the sugar. So these are popularly known as the brine solution. Means what? The solution of the salt as well as the sugar. When these both combine in order for particularly forming the solution. So these solutions are literally called as the brine solution, highly employed for the preservation mechanism of the food. Understood? So the disadvantage of microbes is that these play an important role to spoil your food. Understood? As well as how these processes are literally being supported, or you could say that how these here meant of the brine solution means the salt solution or rather the sugar solution playing important role to resist or prevent the spoilage of food. So these literally maintain the equilibrium, or either you could say that these particularly meant of the salt or either sugar play important role to abstract the extra amount of the water from your food ingredients, and after that we also know that particularly for any kind of the growth or the development of the microbes such as the bacteria, yeast, mold as well as the fungus, the water molecules are literally being required. And when the particular food ingredients are literally being freed from these water molecules by the help of these mechanism of the sugar or either the salt, then what will be happening? The growth of microbes will literally not be employed. Or either you could say that these salt or either the sugar solution playing important role in order for what? In order to dismanage the particular DNA of the particular here meant of the microbes such as the bacteria, molds and yeast. Means what? So these particularly salt will defect the DNA, means the deoxyribose nucleic acid of your these microbes. Thus the food will be prevented from the spoilage mechanism, etc. Or either you could say that this play important role to maintain what? To maintain the plasmolysis process. So after that what will be happening? The particular cell of your bacterium or rather the virus will literally burst out by the mechanism of the plasmolysis, and these are nothing else but the transportation mechanism which could be seen highly popularly in terms of the long distance transportation mechanism of the nutrients or either the other ingredients in terms of the higher plant. So we'll be understanding about these things later. Often we are having the certain importance of these microbes such as these play important role to produce the antibiotics such as penicillin. So these are the certain of the another characteristics your microbes to play an important role for the formation of the biogas. So we'll be understanding about these features in terms of the detail later. So this is somewhat the condition when we are talking about the criteria, means how these microbes are literally important in order in the formation of the cheese. So I thought you have got the concept. So you could particularly write this. So if you like the work with reference to the education as well as the lectures as well as the videos, so you could particularly subscribe, like as well as comment below in the text. Thus I'll be knowing that what concept actually you are hungry for, what haven't you understood or either got. So baby, thank you with reference to the RahAnaBio biology tutorials.